Guys, panic in Naples, panic in Italy. Who's panicking? Of course, the residents are panicking again because they heard the roar again and everything was shaking at a high magnitude. I'll tell you what it was right away, but the tourists, they felt it in their hotel rooms, especially in the higher up hotel rooms. They were in panic because most of them are probably not used to this. There's a lot of tourists coming from other European countries, Germany, Austria, sort of thing. They're not used to earthquakes, and maybe some of them have heard about the potential supervolcano Campi Flegrei and decided, despite the risk, still to go. But then you can imagine, then maybe you rethink your decision if you're in bed and it starts shaking. So not good what has happened. So before we talk about it in more depth, I want to show you the INGV, the Italian Institute for Geophysics and Volcanology. They have the list of the recent earthquakes. And guys, I was just in the middle of editing actually another Campi Flegrei video, which is very concerning because it is about what might happen in the near future at Campi Flegrei, and it still gives me shivers down my spine. So I wanted to release this video. I was editing it when I saw the earthquake swarm just happened, so I decided I want to release this video here first, and then I go back. Probably I'll have to spend the night, the whole night, so that I can edit the other video as well. But you know, I was about to go to sleep, but I want to send this video out. So a 3.6, this is large for a volcano. We're not talking about like subduction zone earthquakes that are magnitude like 7, 8, 9, 10, not San Andreas fault sort of category, not Cascadia fault category. If a volcano starts rumbling, that means magma's on the move. And if there's an earthquake swarm, that tells you the worm of magma is doing something, or magmatic fluids, gases, something is trying to go somewhere. And it has been rumbling in Campi Flegrei for the last few months. Basically, there is no break. I mean, the biggest one that they had was 4.4 on May 20th, which has really shaken the community of Pozzuoli. That is mostly in the epicenter because Pozzuoli is basically right on the volcano. Campi Flegrei stretches around 100 kilometers on land and in the sea. So there's tremors in the Gulf of Naples, of Pozzuoli as well. And it could erupt there as well, which could cause a tsunami wave towards the coast of Naples. In that greater area, more than 3 million people live there. And in the basically like direct area, the biggest danger zone, we also have 500,000 people there. But if Campi Flegrei produces a super volcanic eruption, it will affect all 3 million plus people that live in Naples. I mean, Naples has the shitty location anyways. It's between two rumbling giants, Vesuvius and Campi Flegrei. But many might not know that, guys, Campi Flegrei is the more dangerous one. I mean, if you're my viewers on a regular basis, you know, of course you do, guys, because you're watching my channel all the time, right? And I keep hammering this into your heads. And even Rudy knows that he's actually lying here right behind me, looking at me. So guys, look at that list. We had the 3.6 at 8 in the morning local time, and then just maybe 15 minutes later, a 1.7, and then a 1.2, and that is still ongoing. So while I speak, we might see the next one. But the big one, and if you look back in that list, there is not much time between the earthquakes. So July 15th in the morning, 1.5, and then 1.3. July 14th, we had another one. And there's smaller ones as well. I just want to show you the ones above 1 so that are of any significance, but there's smaller tremors as well. And then you see on July 12th, 1.9, 1.8, and a 2.6, don't forget about that one on July 11th. So they keep coming and they always produce these spikes. So even since the big one, the May 20th earthquake, the 4.4. We've always seen the spikes with 3 point something in the higher 3 ranges, and then some 2 point something. So it's not ending. So this tells us something's going on. The land still keeps rising at the same rate. They just released a new bulletin. It's still rising 2 centimeters a month. So since April, that has doubled, right? So if you look at this earthquake swarm, it's probably, we will see some smaller ones in the coming minutes, hours during the day, maybe another higher one as well. But imagine the tourists, guys. I mean, it's summer in Italy. July, it's summer in Europe. People have vacation. I know in Germany, July is when the summer vacation starts for the school kids, which usually lasts 6 weeks. So not all Germany starts at the same time. So Bavaria usually starts at the end of July, and other provinces start earlier. So that's when the tourists are coming to Italy. And same in Austria, Switzerland, Poland, wherever the people are coming from. But a lot of European people, of course, US people as well. So they're there. And if you've watched my previous videos, I mean, they said last year in December, when there was another big earthquake swarm, basically the Minister of Civil Defense, Musumeci, said, well, if this continues, we have to raise the alert level. The alert level is yellow right now, and it did continue with even bigger earthquakes, more earthquakes, and accelerated, doubled land rise. The Brady seism, the land keeps rising if magma is on the move, or magmatic fuels, gases, whatever. Plus, I think it was March or something, they confirmed the magma chamber that is filling up is way more shallow than they thought. It's at a depth of only 4 to 5 kilometers, probably 4.5 kilometers, and not 8 or 12. So magma does not need to go far to reach the surface. That's why there have been warnings already in March from seasoned scientists that said, if I had the resources, I'd evacuate right now. And other scientists that work for the INGV at the Vesuvius Observatory that are there local, they said, we have to prepare for a big eruption. Do not only prepare for earthquakes, you have to factor in the big risk too. And some of them said, Campi Flegrei is creeping towards a major eruption, potentially, right? And you've heard the story that scientists ended up in jail for predicting something's wrong. So these Italian scientists predicted that nothing bad will happen, and then something bad did happen. But you know, since then they were released later on, but the community might be scared. So to trigger an evacuation and a panic of an area of more than 3 million people, and then nothing happens, can cause the death and the injuries of many people. Because let's face it, guys, if they say Campi Flegrei might erupt, let's evacuate the people that sit right on it, sit in Pozzuoli, 80,000 people, a little bit bigger red zone, 500,000 people. So that's panic enough already. These old buildings, these narrow roads, it will be a disaster. But do you think the rest of the people in Naples will just stay put in their homes when they think Campi Flegrei is about to erupt? Of course they will hit the roads as well and cause complete chaos. So that's a problem, and the scientists are saying you're not prepared. Your evacuation plans don't work. You have to prepare for waterway evacuation, and really you have to make new evacuation plans. But they're basically saying, yeah, we have 500 bus drivers ready that will take people out. Do you think these 500 people will wait in their bus and that everyone will come and quietly get into the bus? If everything's rumbling from earthquakes, maybe the eruption already started with ashes and darkness. It's complete BS in my opinion. And maybe some of the tourists know that, but the reason why they might not have raised the alert level last year as they promised, and they said that, they were worried about real estate prices coming to a fall, crashing, or sales coming to a halt, or tourists that might stay away. I mean, even after the last swarm in the UK, they issued a warning. They said, hey guys, you know, even the earthquakes could be troubling because lots of old buildings, stone buildings that are not up to code. So they could collapse, they're crumbling. You know, in May, people ran on the streets, then many houses were declared unsafe. I believe something like 1,200 to 1,500 in Pozzuoli in that proximity. So they said, yeah, the government wants to invest 500 to 700,000 euros. That's not much for seismic upgrades, but the residents are complaining, well, the money is mainly used for public buildings, right? Not for our private buildings. So it's not a good situation. And if you're sitting there as tourists, it might really send the shiver down your spine, especially if you're in an older building and in the 3rd, 4th, 5th floor and that thing is shaking, because even if they sound small, like not the size of 7 or something, they are shaking horizontally and they make a sound like a missile that's landing. It does like boof, and then everything's rattling, the closets, the glassware, everything. So it does sound scary, and then comes the rumbling. So for inexperienced tourists that are not earthquakes or volcano tourists, that is scary, guys. Maybe if you're from California and you go there, you might sleep through the night, right? But it is horizontal. It's not a vertical shaking, right? So really, that's why headlines have already reached Germany. It says series of earthquakes cause panic in the holiday region. And of course, these headlines are not good for business, right? But I am of the opinion they should raise the alert level, because these seismic activities, they mean something, and something could happen, and they should not ignore the warnings of the scientists. 3.6, and here the INGV has really mapped the epicenter. So if you see there, you see Pozzuoli, and then you see something that's called Solfatara. This is basically the heart of Campi Flegrei right now, and it's most active with these fumaroles, these hot steam vents that are coming out from the ground. And this is the epicenter, so to speak, and the earthquakes keep coming in that area. It keeps telling them, Volcano maybe gives them a warning saying, hey guys, here I am, same spot, rumbling again there. And at the same time, it's rumbling everywhere in Campi Flegrei and also in the water. And so you see the depth was 2 kilometers, and yeah, you see Naples, right? Bagnoli, Naples. It's not far. It's really not far, and it's so densely populated. So one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world is actually one of the most densely populated areas, guys. So this is a quick update. Stay tuned. I want to release the other one that I was just working on as well, because it's important, guys. So check it out. In the meantime, check out the videos in the end screen. Interesting and scary update about Iceland. They're saying the next eruption is basically in the works, maybe in as little time as 3 weeks, and really bad news for the town of Grindavik and for the Blue Lagoon. Now they're really saying it. If they mention the Blue Lagoon and the risk, then something needs to be there, because this is also their treasured tourist attraction that rakes the money in for them. So they don't want to risk that tourists might not come. But they said it. What they said, the videos in the end screen, guys, watch it, because that volcano keeps creeping closer to destroy Grindavik with every eruption. And that's what this video is about, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're still sleeping, wake up, watch my video, subscribe, and hey guys, leave it a like. I can't tell it often enough. Help my channel. Leave the likes, guys. Thanks so much. I see you very soon. Bye-bye.